All right, something we definitely need to bring up and discuss is this crazy West Virginia high school. Well, I guess it's color coding system. It's just absolutely crazy because you got kids that have. I mean, obviously some probably haven't, but a whole lot of kids have done everything they've been asked to do since June.
Yeah.
And now you're hearing a whole bunch of games getting canceled, and not necessarily because anybody on the team has gotten COVID. I know there's been one of those, I think Lincoln County, but more because they're the county they live in or play in. What?
That was Mingo and Martinsburg.
And Lincoln too.
Lincoln today.
Oh, it was Lincoln today?
Lincoln's game for Friday's canceled.
Really?
Yeah, I had heard that.
So those
So
are
if one
those-
person tests positive, they cancel the whole game?
for 14 days.
14 days.
Cancel and shut down the program in 14 days. I can almost see that.
Okay, yeah.
But let's talk about the shutdowns when there's nobody from their teams are testing positive, but the counties are in, what is
Orange.
it, orange and red or whatever. So what do you guys think about
So
that?
Asbury and I'm usually not a dork. We usually just leave that to Asbury, but on this map and numbers, I'm checking this every day.
And I own it because I love stats and I love just looking into it.
So I've become addicted to checking it just because our nephews and Cabell Midland and our ties there. So here's what I've just kind of been seeing, and Asbury can chime in. So Kanawha County was yellow forever.
Yep. And of course, they caused the big uproar
Yes.
because they got the most schools. And
Right, they have 9 schools.
Yeah.
So, like the MSAC, the conference Cabell Midland is, that wipes off like 4 or 5 of their games. So, they were yellow forever. UC starts coming back to town, West Virginia State starts coming back to town, and all these people have to get tested. So, naturally, their testing results and their numbers are skyrocketing right now.
Mhm.
Monongalia County is going to probably go red by the end of the week. WVU comes back. Cabell County, in one day this week, tested like 1,100 people. Well, Putnam County's testing like 200. So it's like those discrepancies, the counties that have the most population, have the good testing facilities and testing capabilities, are getting penalized right now by this system. Why can't we just follow what every other state's doing? If you get a positive on your team, you shut down. I mean, Ohio's way worse shape than us. Kentucky's in worse shape than us. They're all playing football. Virginia's losers. That's why the best part of Virginia went west, baby. You know what I mean? So they're not playing at all. But surrounding states around us are letting them play with different schedules. I think Ohio's allowed to play 6 games. Everybody's making the playoffs. It's unfair to these kids that have been doing the right thing, have no positives. They've been following the protocols, and they have to check a map on whether or not, and it's just up in the air.
I thought the colleges weren't supposed to have effect on the numbers for the county.
The prisons and nursing homes don't, but the colleges do because they consider them actual parts of the population.
And he said today because they are out and about in the community constantly, so they felt like the medical professionals basically said, we got to count them because they're in the community constantly, whereas the jails and nursing homes aren't.
And allegedly, all this is based on some Harvard model that was created, which was the original. If you remember, the original numbers was actually
Every county would have been fine, right?
Which was to be green, you were going to have 5, and to be yellow, it was going to be higher. But that actually went against the Harvard model, and they got some flack and some pushback on it. So they changed it to lower it to what it is now, which it's to be green. If you have any population whatsoever, the only counties that are green are the low population.
And they're not testing at all. You can look at the website on the state site, and there's 1 test a day in some of these counties. Like Braxton County, they're not testing anybody.
So they're staying green, but you have any population whatsoever, you are going to be yellow, and you're going to stay yellow for the most part. And then it just takes one little tiny hiccup.
So orange you can't play.
Orange you can
practice, but you
can't.
cannot play.
Red you're shut down.
Completely.
So
yellow you're fine. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just different.
Limited fans.
Different restrictions.
Okay.
So listen how stupid this is. Say you're yellow Saturday night at 9 when it comes out.
Yep.
You turn orange Sunday, you can still play. If you're orange all week until Friday, you can still play. But if you are orange on Saturday and you turn yellow for the entire week, you can't play.
Yep.
Well,
It makes no sense.
backwards, yeah.
I mean,
So-
it's just.
So, and that's what happened. Actually, by 1 day and by 2 basis points, basically, Monongalia is getting to play this week unless they go red. They actually, on the update on Sunday morning, went to 10.01, which turned them orange
And they're like,
by 12 hours. They're allowed to play by 12 hours because of that. They've been orange and actually going up. And again, like we talked about, they're probably going to go red based on the numbers I've been looking at. I mean, they're averaging 33 a day right now. If they get 30 a day for the next 2 days, they're going to go red.
and I realize like there are bigger things going on than high school football, right? But I think it's just people are in such an uproar because they want some semblance of normalcy in our life, and football provides that. And people are ready. They've seen, like, if I was a parent, I'm an uncle. I have nephews. They've done the right thing. They followed all these protocols. They worked their butts off in the middle of June outside, burning their hands on weights that were hot.
Mm-hmm.
It's time to let them play. And if they get a positive case, then shut down. But I mean, these high school kids are getting penalized, and they're doing the right things. And it's really the college kids coming back to town that's messing them over.
But one thing I do want to mention though, so obviously schedules are wacko.
Yeah.
We
Let's
had
get
some,
on this.
Yeah, we had some things happen this week where we do know that coaches have called other coaches trying to play. If a county's yellow, I guess, and their opponent was orange,
They're allowed to look for
and
games.
they're looking for a game. A lot of local teams, at least in our area, we've heard it throughout the state, are telling some coaches, nah, we're good, because the competition is too much. I mean, that's
all
really
I think it is.
gotta be the only reason. And you gotta sit there and think, I mean, you have these kids at the Capitol and their parents protesting, and I don't even know, probably not even kids, I'm assuming the coaches. Some of the coaches are saying, yeah, we don't want to play. And then you got people, some of the coaches we know are, they're thinking, we don't even know this, you could play one game this season.
You're not guaranteed next week.
And you're passing
At
an
all.
opportunity to play.
Exactly.
I mean, it's just absolutely crazy.
If it was a normal year and you're worried about getting in the playoffs for your program and how that looks, fine. This is not a normal year.
No.
Play anybody. Who cares what? Just let the kids play.
Yeah.
Because Montague is probably not going to play for a while.
Right.
Kanawha County probably not going to play for at least another week,
Yeah.
if not more, depending on what happens with the testing. But they're guaranteed. I'm telling you
Next
the
week.
numbers. They're guaranteed they're not going to play. We already know they're not playing this week.
They had
They're
70
not-
cases.
Yeah,
yesterday.
they're not going to play next week. Montague is probably going to be out for a couple of weeks, and there's other counties too. I mean, you're not guaranteed to play any games this year.
So Jim Justice, let Logan, let Kanawha, let Montague County play. It's time to let them play.
Yeah,
If they don't have any positives,
Yeah, if they've got positive on the team, that's one thing. Shut it down. And they have. I mean, the schools have. They've
Yeah.
reported that. They've shut it down. But if the team and the school, where they follow these protocols for weeks, maybe months now, I guess, and they're good, then these kids, let alone the parents, they're not understanding why they're not allowed to play. They're not going to understand
Right.
this. So, obviously, they've got to do something.
let them play.